Hey fam, let's be real, when you think of Sunday dinner in America, there's always one dish that comes to mind. Pot roast. That big, tender piece of beef, slow-cooked with veggies until it's falling apart with every forkful. 4 generations. Pot roast has been the meal that brings everybody to the table, no matter where you are from. It's hearty. It's soulful, and it's the kind of food that feels like love served on a plate. Now, here in the States, especially in brown and black households, Sunday dinner isn't just about eating. It's tradition. It's a time to slow down after a long week, gather up family and friends, and share a meal that feels like home. Aunties in the kitchen, kids running through the house, music playing low in the background, and that smell drifting from the oven, it's all part of the experience. And pot roast fits right into that tradition, because it's one of those meals that cooks slow while life happens around it. And let's talk about Las Vegas for a second. Out there, the Strip is glowing. Restaurants charging big money for fancy plates. But the truth is, you don't need to spend $100 to feel that same kind of luxury. You can create it right at home, in your own kitchen, with simple ingredients and a little patience. That's the beauty of pot roast. It feels like a feast, but it's affordable, comforting. And it stretches to feed the whole crew. For so many of us growing up, pot roast was that meal that stuck with you. Maybe it was grandma's recipe. Maybe mom put her own spin on it. Some families add bell peppers, others throw in celery or sweet potatoes. Every household has their way, but the heart of it is always the same: meat, veggies, broth, and time. Low and slow cooking that transforms tough meat into something tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. So today, fam, we are gonna dive into what makes the perfect pot roast. I'm talking golden sear on the outside, tender inside. Veggies cooked down in that rich broth, and flavors so deep they'll have you closing your eyes on the first bite. This isn't just about cooking dinner, it's about keeping tradition alive. About creating moments that last long after the plates are cleared. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll see why pot roast isn't just food, it's culture, it's comfort. And it's still one of the best Sunday dinners you'll ever serve. Alright fam. Now let's get into the heart of this recipe, building the flavor. Cause listen. The secret to a pot roast that makes people go quiet at the table is all about how you treat that beef and those veggies before it ever hits the oven. First up, the star of the show, the roast. Most folks go with a chuck roast, because it's marbled just enough to stay juicy when it cooks low and slow. Start by seasoning it heavy: salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and a little smoked paprika. Don't be shy. This is a big piece of meat, and it needs that love. Seasoning is where the story begins. Now here's the step that takes it from good to unforgettable: you gotta sear it. Heat up a heavy pan. Add a little oil, and lay that roast down. Let it get that dark, golden crust on each side. That crust, that's flavor locked in. In kitchens all across America. From grandma's cast iron skillet down south to a modern pan in a Vegas apartment. That sear is the first layer of love. Once the meat is browned, we build the base. Toss in onions, carrots, and potatoes, the holy trio of pot roast veggies. They soak up all the juices, get tender, and turn into their own kind of side dish. Some families like to add celery. Some drop in bell peppers for color and sweetness. However you do it, the veggies aren't just extras, they are part of the story. Now we need liquid to carry it all. Beef broth is classic, but here's where you can make it soulful. Add a splash of Worcestershire sauce for richness. Maybe even a touch of red wine if you want that deep, bold flavor. In a lot of black and brown households, The trick is letting the broth taste like it's been simmering all day before it even goes in the oven. That's how you know it's gonna hit. Layer your roast and veggies together, pour that broth over the top. And just look at it. Already, it's a meal in the making. The colors. The smells, it's the kind of pot you set in the oven and let time do the work. Filling the house with an aroma that pulls everybody into the kitchen. And that, fam, is how you build flavor before the roast even cooks. It's not fancy, it's love, tradition, and good seasoning. Every household puts their own twist on it, but the foundation stays the same. A well-seasoned roast, fresh veggies, and broth that's bold enough to carry the whole dish. All right, fam, now that we've built up the flavor, it's time for the part that makes pot roast so legendary, slow cooking. 'Cause let's be real, this ain't a fast food dish. Pot roast is about patience, it's about love. And it's about letting time do what no shortcut ever could. Once you've got that seasoned roast, those veggies, and that rich broth layered together, you slide it into the oven or into a slow cooker, set it low, and let it go. This is where the magic happens. The beef that started off tough begins to soften, breaking down over hours until it's tender enough to fall apart with a fork. The veggies soak up all that flavor, turning buttery and sweet. The broth thickens, carrying every layer of seasoning you added. This is comfort food at its finest. Now, if you grew up in a brown or black household in the States, you already know the vibe. While that pot roast is doing its thing, life is happening all around it. The house is filled with laughter. Kids playing, aunties catching up, somebody setting the table. Every so often, someone peeks into the kitchen just to say, it smells so good in here. That's tradition, right there. And here in Las Vegas, think about it, the city's moving fast outside. Neon lights flashing, music blasting, restaurants packed. But inside your kitchen, everything slows down. That aroma of garlic, onions, beef, and broth fills the air, grounding you in something timeless. You don't need a steakhouse meal with a triple-digit price tag. You've got all that comfort, all that soul, right in your own oven. The beauty of slow cooking is that it teaches you patience. It's not just about feeding people, it's about creating an experience. Pot roast is the kind of meal that reminds families across America what Sunday dinner is all about. The waiting makes it special. By the time it's ready, everyone's already gathered, hungry and smiling, ready to dig in. And fam, let me tell you, when you open that oven or lift the lid on that slow cooker, it's a moment. The roast is tender, the veggies are soft, the broth is rich and savory. It's more than a dish, it's a memory in the making. That's why pot roast has stayed a classic for generations. It's not just about food, it's about love, tradition, and the joy of bringing people together. All right, fam. The wait is over. Hours have passed, the house smells like pure comfort. And now it's time for the big reveal. You open that oven, or lift the lid on that slow cooker. And there it is, your pot roast. The meat is so tender it's falling apart just by looking at it. The veggies are soft and golden, and that broth has turned into a rich, flavorful gravy. This right here is the payoff. Now let's talk plating, 'cause presentation matters. Take that roast. Slice it gently, or better yet, just pull it apart with a fork, 'cause it's that tender. Lay it down with those carrots and potatoes, spoon some of that gravy right over the top. And watch it glisten. Add a side of greens, maybe some cornbread or fluffy dinner rolls. And suddenly you've got a spread that feels like a celebration. This is Sunday dinner energy, fam. It's that moment when everybody gathers around the table, kids, cousins, aunties, neighbors. Plates clinking, Folks laughing. Somebody asking for seconds before they even finish the first plate. That's what pot roast does, it brings people together. In black and brown households all across the country, meals like this are more than just food. They are tradition. They are love you can taste. And in a place like Las Vegas, where life moves quick and restaurants charge big, this is your way of slowing down. You don't need a reservation or a fancy menu to feel special. Right here in your own kitchen, with a simple roast, fresh veggies, and a little patience. You've created something better than any 5-star meal, because this one is cooked with love. So here's the truth, pot roast isn't just beef and veggies. It's culture. It's comfort. It's the memory of sitting around the table with family, sharing stories, and passing plates until everybody's full and happy. That's why this dish has lasted for generations. And why it still holds its place as one of the best Sunday dinners you can serve. And fam, if this recipe made you smile, if it made you think about your own Sunday dinners, then don't let it stop here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share it with somebody who loves soulful food. 'Cause trust me, I've got more recipes coming, dishes that bring the same love, the same comfort, and maybe even a little surprise. And you don't want to miss what's next.